getting back to the canine thing,
Yeah.
after all this happens, where you're talking about lawsuits and everything else, they begrudgingly
Give me the
give
dog.
you a spot. Is that because of the complaints that you're starting to file against the
It's
PD?
because I was number 1 on the sergeant's test and they didn't want to promote me. So the chief at the time, he'd come from Walnut Creek
Mhm.
or Concord, one of those areas. And he brings me into his office and he says, "You're number 1 on the sergeant's list." And I'm all, "I know." Like, come on now. There's not a test I didn't take that I didn't know I was gonna ace and be number 1 in.
Mhm.
And I just had a huge chip on my shoulder and, um, I was just you could either, like, crawl underneath a rock, run around scared, or you can just get defiant, and that's what I did. I got a huge chip on my shoulder, and I put it for everything,
Mm.
and I made sure I tested number 1 for everything, and I was trying to scare them, like, "You're not gonna go ahead and IA me for whatever you wanna IA me for. First of all, prove it." There's one thing I've learned in Alameda County, it's this prove it, and, uh and I just got defiant, and, so I put in for things, and I did very, very well in the testing. I made sure I was the smartest person in the room all the time, no matter what, and, or tried to be, and he said, "You're number 1 on the test, but you're just not promotable." And I'm all, "Gosh, I wonder why I'm not promotable." And he goes, "However, I know that you want a canine and a position is opening up, and we have a dog for you." And I'm like, "Okay." So they give me a dog that the handler's lateraling over to another police department because he's on the verge of being fired, and this dog had bitten just about every cop and, did not let go of a bite when he was on it, would not call off of a bite. Basically, just the biggest, um, like, heinous dog that they could give me, thinking, "We'll give her this dog, it'll be a complete and total failure, and point proven," right?
Mhm.
So they give me Gizmo and, would not send me to school so that I could go out on the street with him. Just put it off, put it off, put it off. Finally, we end up going to school and now we're on the street. So
But talk about your first engagement where they come over to your house and go,
oh, yeah. So they bring Gizmo over to the house and, he's in the back of the car. He's in the back of the truck. And they all have these smiles on their faces, right? The lieutenant, the cool guy that is worried about me being pregnant, is there, and, the sergeant's he's the lieutenant at the time, and the sergeant's there, a guy that I love and respect. He's also there, kinda not and you could tell he just doesn't like what's going on, but it is what it is, right? And, so they said, "Dog's in the car." And now we're talking Gizmo, right? We're talking a dog that has no problem biting cops, and is hard to control. And so I'm like, I just put in my mind, I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. Whatever you guys throw at me, I don't care. I march out to the truck, open up the kennel, hook him up, walk him back into the backyard, and they're waiting. They're on my step watching, thinking that this dog doesn't know me and is gonna come out and it's not gonna like anything, but I hook them up, walk them into the backyard, feed them their sandwiches, they leave. They gave me this rickety ass kennel with no top, coming apart, this igloo of a house that is just like looks like literally they drug it there from behind the car. Just all crap equipment just to make this hard on me. And so I walked out after they had left, opened up the door to the kennel, and I could probably I can't get in trouble for it now. Who cares? Yes, I let him out of the kennel. He never went back in the kennel again, ever. Broke all kinds of policies there. Took him everywhere I went. More policies broken. Took him to the coffee shop. More policies broken. Damn right. And that dog loved me. Never bit another cop again, even though he says he bit him. He didn't. Um, blah. And then called off every single time. My sergeant, the one that I respect, stood there, no equipment on, said, "Send your dog on me." I did. I sent Gizmo at him, called him off, called him back, and Ray just got this smile on his face, like he was proud that I had shoved it up their butt as far as I could. Um, which is why I love and respect him because he's just one of those guys that he knew what was going on in the police department, didn't want any part of it. But I mean, the guy had been divorced, he was paying child support, he's got a house. What is he gonna do? blow up his life for, and that's why a lot of cops never say anything. I'm not going to blow up my life for someone else because I've got all these bills to pay. How are you going to pay them?
Yeah.
So I do understand that. And I do understand why a lot of police officers never stand up for things because, especially back then, you just ruin yourself. You know, you ruin yourself unless you have it on video, which ultimately that's what it took. Um, you have no case. You're just one cop that's now disgruntled, now has the microscope over you, that nobody likes and nobody will trust again. I mean, you really, for as many cops as that could 100% trust that I would stand right next to them no matter what we went into, none of them wanted me next to them anymore because I had blown up what other cops had done. So, and if you're a cop not doing anything wrong or just handling what's in front of you the best way that you can, you have nothing to worry about. But what we're seeing is you have everything to worry about because every couch potato in the world wants to Monday morning quarterback you and is allowed to. But at the time, there wasn't any kind of film like that. And it was just your other, coworkers and your command staff that were doing it to you. And it depended on who you were.
Mhm.
It depended on what your race was, and it depended on what your gender was.